some festivals which are very unique to Odisha. The first one is Raja. Raja we have discussed in detail in our previous presentation, so I'll just tell you quickly. This is a festival which celebrates the fertility and womanhood. So in Odisha, we believe that Mother Earth is undergoing her fertility period, her menstruating period. So she should be given rest at this time. And she is, because the young girls in a family are also the symbols of future, carriers of life. They are also celebrated this day. So there are lots of fun activities like Doli Khela, like Pitta, Pana, and Panno, and there's celebrations in a lot of ways. Especially the girls have a very good time. Even the boys, it's a celebration of multiple days, and it's a time of great joy in Odisha. Kumar Punami. This is also a festival which is unique to Odisha, although Sharad Purnima is all over India, but this is specifically different in Odisha. In Odisha, the girls worship the rising sun in the morning and the rising moon in the evening with Chanda Chakata and Puchi Khela and different other activities. Then there is Prathamashtami. This is a unique festival in Odisha. I have never heard about such a festival from any other counterparts from India, like where the firstborn is celebrated. Firstborn, irrespective of it being a boy or a girl, the firstborn in a family is celebrated in Prathamashtami. Manabasa Gurubar. The Lakshmi Puja or Manabasa Gurubar, it is a very distinct Lakshmi Puja which is found in Odisha, deeply joined with our Jagannath culture. In this puja, the book about Jagannath and Lakshmi's and other stories is read. And the most important thing to understand about this puja is this is a very unique thing that started happening in the medieval times when the society was getting a little more, like closed and not that fair to everyone in the society. Here it was from this puja, it was again restructured in the society, that how everyone is equal, how God treats everyone equally. There is no big, no small, no class apart or anything. Gods and goddesses are for everyone. And then the woman, how important the woman's role is in a family and a society. So women should be treated with respect. So here the women of a family do the puja for Mahalakshmi and read the book, this Lakshmi Purana book, Lakshmi Puja book, and offer a lot of different offerings to Goddess Lakshmi. Then this is also a unique festival for Odisha, but it is a heritage festival. Like, what are those? The Kartika Purnima Danga Bhasa or Boita Bandhana Bali Jatra. This is a festival which is not a religious festival, like this particular aspect of the festival per se. It's not religion based. It is more of heritage based. The Boita Bandhana Dangavasa Baliyatra, it celebrates Odisha's ancient tradition of Kalinga Sadhavas voyaging off to far off Bali, Java, Indonesia, Cambodia for trade. And during this Kartika Purnima day, they used to start their voyage. So commemorating that, every year, Odia people, if they are in Odisha or even outside Odisha, celebrate it by floating a boat with some offerings and all, and saying certain words like Akama Boy Panoguathoi. Similar to this Bali Jatra tradition, there is a Khudurukuni Osa, which is also very unique to coastal parts of Odisha, which bear, the traces of this maritime trade which used to happen, in which the protagonist of the Osa is Taupoi, who worships a form of goddess, like Bhalukuri, the goddess Mangala. So Taupoi was a girl from the Sadhava community whose father and brothers had voyaged off for trade to Bali, Java and Indonesia. So that story and how what happens and all that is read, and it is celebrated by young girls. Utkala Divasa is more of a more newer festival than other festivals because this commemorates the formation of Odisha as a state in 1936, modern Odisha. So that is Utkala Divasa. Now let's go to agriculture and occupation-based festivals. India is a land of farmers. Even Odisha also, our main thing in Odisha for all these times has been agriculture and other occupations also. So if you go all over Odisha, you would find a lot of festivals which have their roots in agriculture-based activities. Now, before going into some of the others, let's talk about the festivals of the indigenous tribes. Odisha is home to the second highest population of tribes, indigenous tribes, or the Janajati, and all the different types of tribal population who live in Odisha. They celebrate a variety of festivals, and most of it has some or the other linkage to their agricultural activity. The most unique thing that I find fascinating about festivals of the indigenous tribes is that you don't find any of these or any worship they do individually. It's always like a group activity. And a group activity, the prayers are done for the community, like for the society, people pray, not just for the self. So this thing about thinking about the society and the community as a whole and praying as a whole, how beautiful is that? That means you're praying for everyone, not just yourself. So like Kedu, Korama, Bijapandu, Chaitra Paraba, Puspunei, Maghe Parab, these are all different festivals which are celebrated. Now, other festivals which are throughout Odisha, you would find Akhi Tritiya, as we already discussed, then Garbhana Sankranti, Nuakhai, Puspune. Nuakhai is more specific to the western regions of Odisha. Then Maghe Parab, Korama, and Kanjola. And I want to just specifically highlight one puja here, the Chitto Amavasya, the Chittalagi Amavasya. I find a ritual that is done in this Chitto Amavasya very fascinating actually. So on Chitto Amavasya, Chitto Pitha is made. It is like type of pitha which resembles an appam, you can say, from Kerala. So not exactly, but just to give you an idea. So Chitto Pitha is made, and other offerings are also made. And then in the villages where there are farmlands and all, kids and women and people go taking that offering and offering it to the snails and other creatures in the water, and call it as Gende Suri Puja, because Genda in Odia is snail. Now they would utter some words saying that, which means that, take this offering and don't bite my brother or this person's, feet when they are working in the farmland, tilling, when they are working in the watered farmland. So I find this very fascinating that, rituals and all these are so beautifully interwoven with what actually, practically it is woven into our daily life. So, and Nuakhai in Sambalpur is not just Sambalpur, but most of the West, like all parts of Western Odisha celebrate Nuakhai. There are two different times where, the more popular, bigger Nuakhai is around the post-summer, autumn type of month. But there is one other Nuakhai which is done during Chaitra. The main idea behind Nuakhai is to offer new grains to the goddess before consuming oneself. So in Chaitra, Bola, Mohula, all these are offered, and in the other time, like grain, the different other things are offered. Now coming to another worship of the tools of the trade or of occupation, there is Kurala Panchami, which is a festival of potters of Odisha. They're called as Kumbhara, who celebrate a form of Vishnu called Rudrapal, and they worship their potter's wheel that day. There is also Vishwakarma Puja. Vishwakarma, as everyone knows, is the god of the architect, god of the deities. So Vishwakarma Puja is celebrated in different places like factories, like engineering colleges or such institutions. And this is something I wanted to highlight today. Although this is not a festival like any other festival, this is a year-long festival, and it is very unique to Odisha. It is a festival of listening to the reading of one of the holiest and most revered books of Odisha, that is Odiya Bhagavata. So the Bhagavata Janma Day, this Bhagavata Parayana Ushchava starts. Bhagavata Parayana Ushchava, it starts on Bhagavata Janma Day, and it is a year-long festival where, like, if you go to the villages of Odisha, you would find places called Bhagavata Tungi. Now, Bhagavata Tungi in every village was the identity of that village. It was a place of congregation of the normal common people who would come after days of hard work, sit in the evening and listen to a chapter of the Bhagavata read by one of the persons there. So this listening to this holy book, and Bhagavata is, this Odiya Bhagavata is actually not just a translation of Vasudev's Srimad Bhagavat. This is actually of course based on the philosophy of that. Atibodi Jagannath Das composed this Bhagavata, and he wrote it in very simple Odiya that everybody could understand, like anybody, not even with the higher education of Sanskrit, anybody could understand this Bhagavata. And the deepest of the deepest philosophies are there, like going to the universe or the philosophy of life or anything. And at the same time, it talks about avatars, gods, Vishnu, Krishna, the different, all the stories are there. And at the same time, there is the philosophy of Advait, about Shunya, about, like, it is like a one-stop, like a knowledge center for anything and everything that you want to learn in life. So Bhagavata, reading Bhagavata, listening is an integral part of Odisha society. And it is actually said that there are like certain papers and articles and books which were written even by non-Odia scholars, like even Bengali scholars and all, that Odiya Bhagavata was one of the most important things that helped literacy in Odisha, among Odia people. For the Odia language, literacy was one of the, by far, the most successful literate people in all of India that time, in the medieval times. Even more, like a Bengali scholar actually has written that even more than Bengali literates, people who are literate, Odia people were more literate just because of the Bhagavata, that is the importance of it. And even now, people think that listening to the few lines of Bhagavata at the deathbed also gives one moksha or moksha. So Bhagavata Janma is a very unique festival that is celebrated in Odisha. Now, going to very fun festivals where kids go door to door collecting gifts and goodies. We see that in other cultures and other parts of India too. Now, here I have just taken three festivals like that. One is the Aginjala Purnima or Agiya Pune. It's very common throughout Odisha. Cherchera during Puspune is a common festival only in some of the western parts of Odisha, and which bears resemblance to the Chercheras celebrated in the nearby Chhattisgarh region. And this one is the Pura Vasa Porap on Saptapuri Amavasya and the Lanka Pori. Again, this is one of the western Odisha and parts of Sonpur, both they celebrate, where little kids, they carry clay models of like elephants and tigers and horses. All these they carry and take it as a procession, and they go and get stuff for their animals from the little girls who are selling them. So girls have other rituals. They will get little baskets from home filled with goodies for this clay, horse, elephant and all. and kids have a very, very fun time during this. And this particular celebration, as far as I understand about from reading and talking to people about this, is it inculcates the traditions how the grown-ups do, be it warfare or taking care of the society or being responsible about food and like helping each other, all those things. And this thing in the Lankapuri, there are like clay models of Hanuman which are made and the kids carry. And in the evening, the tail of the Hanuman is lighted up and it is carried in like all over the community, door to door. So this has traces with the Ramayana story of, how Sri Hanuman went and burnt Lanka. So Lanka produced Chow. Now, Kartika month, one of the holiest months of our Hindu months. Everywhere, Kartika month is very auspicious and it is celebrated throughout India. But how is it different in Odisha? I just wanted to show you here. So the Kartika Muruja is an integral part of the Kartika month. So during Ponchuka, the last 5 days, okay, let me tell you here, Kartika, like Odia people eat fish a lot, like fish is consumed a lot in Odisha. It's one of the very integral part of Odia cuisine. But only during the month of Kartika, people don't eat any fish or any other non-vegetarian food at this time. Even many people even leave onion and garlic from their food. So Kartika month, people don't eat fish at all or non-veg. And if somebody is eating, they have to at least follow the last 5 days of Kartika, which is called as Ponchuka. That 5 days are the holiest and strictly people don't eat any fish or consume any non-vegetarian food. This Ponchuka is in a fun way called as Baka Ponchuka. Baka are like the cranes or storks. Even it is said that the Baga also leaves eating fish for these last 5 days. So if the Baga can leave or the crane can leave its fish eating habits, people can also. So in this Muruja or the Rangoli, as Muruja is the colored powder art. So you will find traces of our Odia heritage. There are boita, which is made of the ships. Then there is the boga, as I said, and there are so many other cultural motifs that you can find here. What I understand from my elders that this month is very like the fish are spawning during this month. So maybe this ritual of leaving fish eating was very carefully added to Kartika month so that we don't, harm the fish during this time. Then Buddha and Mela, that is holy dips and holy congregations. These are also important parts of festivals and rituals. So there are lots of such Buddha and Mela which happen. Things like Baruni Buddha, Chandrabhaga Buddha are very well known. And there are like different Melas like Magha Saptami Khandagiri Mela, then the Hingula Jatra, Chandanaswar Chadaka Mela, Nrsimhanath Boisakha Mela, Joronda Mela, the Joronda Gadi, Olek Gadi, then Mayurbhanj Tutsu Mela. There are so many different Melas and Buddhas. Now we talk about everything. How can we not talk about our beloved Jagannath, our Kaliya? So festivals in Sri Mandir also reflect the overall, the fabric of Odisha. And as I time and again say that Jagannath is the whole and soul of Odisha. He is the existence, the journey, story of the reason and its people. The entire gamut, like anything that has happened in Odisha, anything that is happening, like it is the Jagannath culture at action, at play. And it is an ever-evolving, living, breathing cultural tradition of Sri Jagannath. And whatever we see now, it's of all these previous things which have happened and assimilated into our gods. So the festivals in the Sri Mandira, some of it which I would just highlight here are Dolo Jatra, Chandana Jatra, Jhulana Jatra, Chittalagi Amavasya, then Rukmini Vibaha, and different festive attires of the deities that we call as Besa. Now on Chittalagi Amavasya, gods are given the pendant like the gem is given to the gods to be worn. And Dolo and Chandana, we all just discussed a little bit. So let's move on to the most important jatra of the Jews, or the Sri Jews as we say in Odiya, Jagannath, Balabhadra, Subhadra. So it is the Ratha Jatra. So starting from Snana Jatra, that is the holy bathing of all the gods, when they get a fever and then they get to be given medicine, and they recuperate in the anasara, that is the quarantine room, and then finally they get okay and they go out for a journey to they meet their family and friends. So that is the Ratha Jatra or the Ghosa Jatra. Ghosa Jatra because Nandi Ghosa, the chariot of Jagannath. So this is a festival. Why significant? Like, why have I highlighted this? Of course, this is one of the biggest festivals of Sri Jagannath, as we all know. It's a very beloved festival. But what is significant about it? The significant thing, none other than the most beloved poet of Odisha, Upendra Bhanja, he sums it up like Snana Gundichaye Beni Swayam Lila Jara Patita Pavana Arthe Prasadu Bahara. I would like, what he's trying to say here is only during these two festivals, Snana Jatra and Gundicha Jatra, are the festivals where Swayam, like where himself or themselves, the gods in their own form, are coming and meeting the people. Like the Chalanti Pratima or their presiding deity is not coming for this festival. The gods themselves are coming out so that the whole world can have a darshan of them and can see them. So irrespective of whoever wants to see, everyone can have a darshan of Jagannath, Balabhadra, Subhadra during this Ratha Jatra. So the entire Ratha Jatra thing is like Snana Purnima, Anasara, Netroshchava, Navajovana Darsana, Gundicha Jatra, Hera Panchami, Bahuda Jatra, Sunabesa, Lakhnana Bachanika, Niradri Vijay. So many fascinating rituals are all like within this. So if you want to know more, of course, please go and find out more about this fascinating festival. Now, if we don't mention about street festivals, then our talk would not be complete, because street festivals like performances, music, dance, theaters, they are also an integral part of celebrations of festivals and rituals in Odisha. Like we know people, if you ask, people would know about the Brazilian carnival or the Goan carnival, but how many people would know that even in our own regions, like I think it might be found in other parts of India also. Like there are so many vibrant, beautiful street festivals which happen. So let's quickly look at some of them. One of the most beautiful and like it's a real spectacular festival is the Sahi Jatra of Puri, the Sahi Jatra or Sahi Jatra, in which different characters from the Ramayana and other Puranas also, they usually come and perform in the different Sahi. Sahi means the streets or the communities of Puri, the bylanes. So you can find like Parsurama, you can find other like characters of Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, Vishwamitra, and you can find Garuda, you can find Narasimha, you can find Kali, you can find the Saptasira, Navasira, and the Sanana Ravana. This is a unique festival where you see Ravana going to Sri Mandira first and taking the Agya of Sri Jagannath and doing a puja for Jagannath and then coming to perform here. So Ravana is the anti-hero, the person who is killed by Rama, the individual, but still that character is also celebrated here. What I understand from my limited understanding is, in our culture, in our oral culture, we just don't cancel off people as being good, bad, or something like that. Each person has their own significance, has their own plus points, has their own qualities. So here, and if you remember in Ramayana also, at the deathbed of Ravana, Rama takes Lakshmana and like they learn certain things from him, right? So here we see in Sahijatra Puri, Ravana comes and he walks and like then there is also ritual where there is the Badha, Ravana Badha. But at the same time, we see the importance given to this character because he was also considered to be the son of a very learned sage, and he himself was very very learned and wise and intelligent, and he was a great devotee of Shiva. The thing that brought his downfall, of course, he had to be punished. So nobody can have like great qualities and then they can be pardoned, or nobody can just be cancelled off because they are like bad. So that is my take from Sahijatra. And there are other characters, like important characters of Parshuram, for example. Parshuram's culture is very important in Odisha. We see time and again, even Mahendra Parvat region also, you find the temple of Parshuram. So these traces of Ramayana and other Puranic things happening in Sri Mandira even now, in the violence of Puri even now, that shows the antiquity and the continuity of such living heritage. And as far as I have talked to people of Puri and understood this, they say that this is all like transfer of knowledge from one generation to other. They keep on evolving. They keep the central theme is kept, but they keeps evolving over time. So it is more like a passing on of tradition. During other times in Puri, you see in the Ashwina month, the Gosani Jatra, there is Naga Medhas. Nagas were important warrior races, so they are showcased that time. During Janmashtami time, you see the Aghasura and Bakasura Badha rituals. People dress up, kids dress up and bring out that. Then in Daspala region of Nagar, there is Lanka Podi Uschava, where there's a huge Ravana Medha. That is the highlight of that area during Ram Navami. Then during Chaitra, Chaiti Ghoda Nacho is very famous in the Dhivara community, the washerman community, like all the different there is Keuta Keutuni Nacho, there is Sabara Sabaruni Nacho, there is Kondha Kondhuni Nacho. So all different ethnic groups, their dances are there called as Soloswanga. And there is Sonda Nacha, there is Prahlad Nataka in Ganjam, which is an open air theatre. There is Bagha Nacha from Barampur and Ganjam during Thakurani Jatra. There is Thakurani Jatra. There is Medha Nacha. And a very significant thing I wanted to showcase here is the Dhanu Jatra of Baragad. This is a open air theatre which goes on for days, and it is considered to be the largest open air theatre in the world also. Like people say that at least in Asia, it is the largest open air theatre. And I read somewhere that is the largest open air theatre of the world. So Dhanu Jatra, where Kansa is the main character, and the different parts of Krishna's story is enacted there. Chhattar Jatra of Ma Manikeswari in Kalahandi region. This is a very, very important festival in the Bhavanipatna area. It's a huge celebration, like how you see people accumulating during Rath Jatra in Puri. Similarly, you see hundreds and thousands of people during Ma Manikeswari's Chhattar Jatra in Kalahandi. Ma Manikeswari is brought out, and then people do Ghummar. Then there are people who dress up in different ferocious and scary costumes, and also this showcases how I understand from this is the ancient, the tribes and ethnic groups who have lived, and their culture, their traditions, they try to showcase with this, ethnic goddesses who also are like the ferocious forms of goddesses and all. So this is again a very resplendent festival which happens in Odisha. Now we talk about bigger scale festivals like a community and all, but also it's important to talk about rituals and traditions among Odiyas. Like in a family, in just one family, let's say there are different rituals like Chutikiya at the birth of a child, the Ekoisia on the 21st day of birth of a newborn, Ekoisia is done. Anna Prasanna, initiating solid food, like the kid is there is a ritual performed where the toddler is given the first solid food. Mundana or bala podiva, the kid's baby hair is shaved off. Again, it's a ritual which is done near the gods. Khadichua, the first time initiating into writing and studies. It's mostly done in Saraswati Puja. Brata Ghara among the Brahmin community. Bahaghara. Brataghara is that Upanayam ceremony. In other parts, that's how it is known. It is Brataghara in Odiya. Bahaghara, that is the wedding. Then Shraddha. Shraddha is the, like after somebody's death, the anniversary, some rituals are done. Then Paya Shraddha every year given to all ancestors, and there is a very special ritual called Boda Vodua Daka, which is done during Deepavali time. So on Deepavali day, in Odisha, it's this particular thing which is done is like certain sticks called Kauriya Kathi are lighted and shown to the sky with certain words like Boda Bodua Ho Ondhare Asa Alueja. That means it is believed that the ancestors had visited the families during this the previous month, Mahalaya Amavasya. During Mahalaya, during that time, they had come to the earth to visit their families, and they stayed. And then today on Deepavali, they go back to their Pitrulok. So because it is dark, we are showing light to you, and you can have a safe travel to your Pitrulok. So like that, this very ritual is done called as Boda Bodu Adaka. What are festivals without food, right? So any of these festivals that are celebrated throughout the year, and here are just some of them, not like all, but most of these festivals have also like certain food and like offerings which are specifically done for those festivals. And in Odisha, just any festival or auspicious day, vegetarian food is prepared, and it without any onion and garlic that is used, and the rice which is used is orua, or like not the parboiled or usuna rice. In many parts of Odisha, people also eat vegetarian food during Mondays and Thursdays, because Mondays are considered to be the day of Shiva, and Thursday is considered to be the day of goddess Lakshmi. Odiya Vaishnavas usually eat vegetarian food without onion garlic throughout the year. And varieties of pithas are prepared and other things are prepared. So some things, let me just show you here. Makara chawla, as I had told you, Makara Sankranti, Kusi Sakara, Butta and Dola, Podo Pitha during Raja, variety of different pithas like Kakara, Manda, Poda, Chinchuputra, Chokuli, and so many Arisa, so many during Raja. Panna, also Raja. Bella Pona during Mahavisuva Pona Sankranti. Saga Muga Chakata during Sabitri Brata, then Panti Bhoga, then Gaja Pitha during Boda Osa, Chuda Ghasa during Rathajatra Ganesh Puja, Saptapuri Pitha during Saptapuri Amavasya, Chitto Pitha, Chittalagi Amavasya, Chanda Chakata, Kumarpuni, Haradipatra or Enduri Pitha on Prathamashtami, and Monda, Chokuli, Kakara, and so many different pitha for Manavasa Bhoga. So with all that, what more can I say? But Odisha has so many festivals that it is like practically like an impossible task to showcase everything in a particular time limit period.